Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. And yeah, we're going to talk about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League being killed. Yes, that is right. Rocksteady is confirmed that they're pulling the plug. They're going to kill the game. Um, I mean, who didn't see that coming, right? Look, so we gave the game a fair chance on release. We tried it out. Um, we saw so many issues in it. We saw some potential. We saw not potential to do amazing, but potential to do some good, right? It's kind of like Dragon Age. Like everyone said, it was trash, but when we tried it out, it wasn't all that trash, right? It had some. It was good to an extent. Like it wasn't an amazing game, like a lot of sides said it was, but it was an okay game, right? But compared to that, Suicide Squad was just abysmal, right? The only thing that could have made Suicide Squad better was the post game content it promised, right? Because at the time it looked a little bit interesting because every season you get a new villain, right? And a new Batman iconic villain. And then yeah, you get both like depending on what the missions are, you fight another Brainiac. So like they had some good things planned out, right? But the problem with that was like they did the villain design, like some of them were not very exciting. They didn't have too much hype to them. Like Joker was good. Freeze was like okay. Lawless was absolutely like no one was hyped for Lawless, and now they're finally doing Deathstroke right for the final season. So Deathstroke is they should have done Deathstroke second, right after Joker. They should just go off strong. But even if they did bring in good Batman villains, nothing's going to save them from the actual content itself, right? Because the character is one thing, uh, the backstories are another. I'm not sure about Deathstroke because this is the Arkham Deathstroke, right? So okay, but the missions, like we played season one, right? When Joker was coming out, we played season one. So the funny thing is like you don't get access to the character until you've beaten like Brainiac and everything, right? After you've beaten that Brainiac in that season. Uh, so basically, the missions, everything up to the Brainiac boss fight, including the boss fight, are just repeated content. It's all repeated stuff, repeated boss fights, repeated missions, repetitive content, and that is pretty much what ended up killing the entire game, right? Some people were already fed up with the game. Others were just waiting to see what the post game season content would look like myself. Like, I thought, hey, it might do some good, right, at some point, but no, it didn't. We tried to. I mean, like, if I thought of like giving it a fair shot, and dude, it was just horrible, right? It was super boring. It was super repetitive. It was it was just such a waste, right? It's such a waste. So yeah, it says here that Rocksteady is pulling the plug on the new content. So we're not going to read the entire thing through this. So it's mentioned in their official blog. I checked their Twitter, all the Twitter feeds and everything, but it wasn't mentioned there. But it's mentioned in the season 4 blog post. So they're introducing an offline mode, which makes sense, right? We want to make sure they want to make sure that they don't run into the same issue that Ubisoft did when they took out all the servers for the crew, right? They didn't want a lawsuit on their hand. So this makes sense. You have an offline mode. I'm just going to quickly read through this, but we're not going to read the entire thing. So there, yeah, Deathstroke is coming in, available December 10th, right? Blah blah blah. Final season. After Deathstroke joins the roster, the Suicide Squad's crusade against Brainiac is drawing to an end. Mind you, they were supposed to do this like 13 times, right? There were 13 Brainiacs. That's what they said in the Elseworlds, and they were supposed to like fight and beat all 13 of them, right? So this was supposed to drag on for quite a while. And the fact that they're unable to do this is just, I'm surprised they were able to drag it to like 4 seasons. But mind you, they were supposed to do this 13 times. So they like as far as innovation goes, like they were just so lazy to be creative about the mission structures and like yeah, the stuff to do in the extra content, right? Like like we just finished the main story. We don't want to play the main. It's pretty much playing like a portion of the main game again is what it was. You'll also have the option to play the game via the new offline mode, which allows access to the main story camping and all post-launch seasonal gameplay. Okay, so there you have it. You can play the game completely offline, so that's fine for people who are, because people have bought the game, right? So they should be able to use the game regardless. Blah 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 blah. A little bit of backstory. We're not gonna read all this. Medieval twin. This season they're putting the feud back in feudal as we take the fight to a brainiac in a medieval Elseworld. Ooh, that's a little bit interesting. Yeah, new weapon skins, new weapons. I've always said it. I think the gear system was a bit too much. They turned, like, it should have been something a little bit more simpler. You get gear, upgrade gear, right? You upgrade gear with skill points. You upgrade skills with skill points. But it shouldn't have been like, a looter thing, right? It ended up being a looter shoot in the end. So you have to always hunt for rarer gear and stuff like that. Like, it's just an endless ongoing thing, which is very difficult to enjoy. Um. Oh my goodness, what is this? Lex Luthor inspired outfits? Oh, okay, yeah, never mind. All right, it is what it is. So there you guys have it. Suicide Squad finally coming to an end in early. So the last, it's going to be released, episode 8, which is scheduled to release in January 2025. So afterwards, Suicide Squad is finally done. So that is the end of it. Like, if frankly, what could have saved this game was if they made Suicide Squad non Arkham canon. Like, it was not following the Arkham series. It was like a completely different game on its own, right? So that no one will hold it to its Arkham roots. Uh, and that itself would have like saved the game a little bit. But yeah, gameplay issues and all that, let's leave that aside. And then yeah, just the post content, they just had to spend more time. They just had to spend more time and make it more different, right? Like, no one wants to play post seasonal content. Like, no one wants to play repeated missions again in post seasonal content, right? Like, so yeah. So yeah, there you guys have it once again. Suicide Squad coming to an end in 2025, early 2025. And where does Rocksteady go on from here? I have absolutely no clue. It is safe to say that the Arkham series is because so the yeah, I think it's officially it can be official. The Arkham series is dead. We will never be getting a proper Arkham game again. Arkham Knight was the last game. We can say for now, we can just safely say Arkham Knight was the last game in the Arkham series. So yeah.